Oh my God, sit down, shut the door. We need to talk because something wild is happening between Diddy and Trump and nobody's connecting the dots. But I am. There's a straight line, and I mean a direct one between Maureen Comey's firing, Ghislaine Maxwell, and yes, reports that Trump is planning to pardon Diddy. I know it sounds insane, but stay with me. Let's go back to what Maureen Comey said when she got fired, unceremoniously, by the way. She warned us for decades the Department of Justice worked without fear or favor. That was the ideal. No fear of repercussions, no bowing to money or political power. But now, that era may be over. A new one has arrived, and it reeks of corruption. If you believe what the New York Times, New York Post, Deadline, and even TISA are reporting, we're watching the slow motion collapse of the American justice system. And if you've been following this channel, then you already know I broke this story last year, that Diddy was seeking a presidential pardon. Check the dates. Check the timestamps.
And no longer has a voice who will pursue justice for her accusation.
They called me a liar, said I was clout chasing,
as of the
said it
taken
was
against
just for
Diddy.
clicks.
No expansion of the investigation, no isolation orders, no equipment access, no suspension of attorney communication.
Okay. Enough with the I told you so. But seriously, hit that subscribe button because I really do get the exclusives. I even have an inside scoop on the Ghislaine Maxwell situation, but we'll save that for another video. Anyway, back to the point, a new era is here. One where decisions are made, not with integrity, but with fear. Or worse, with favoritism. You've heard the rumors by now. Trump is reportedly seriously considering pardoning Diddy. But here's where it gets deeper. According to several reputable outlets, if Judge Aaron grants Diddy bail, Trump's team is planning to pardon him after sentencing. But if bail is denied, the pardon might come immediately before he ever even sees sentencing. Now, let me be real with y'all. With Trump, you never truly know what's going to happen until the ink is dry on the paper. He could flip the script at any moment. But let's go back to Maureen Comey again. That whole without fear of favor thing, it hits different now, doesn't it? Just think about this. A judge, a federal judge, weighing whether to keep someone behind bars, and not just anyone. We're talking about a man accused of horrific acts, convicted twice for sex-related crimes, and with a mountain of disturbing allegations stacking up. But now, apparently, being a serial predator, beating people, and manipulating the system is no longer a roadblock as long as you've got money, fame, and friends in high places. That's the new America, I guess. This isn't just about Diddy. But today, we are talking about him because his crimes, both morally and federally, deserve attention. So picture this. You're that judge. You've denied bail multiple times already. The last time Diddy's team was so confident he'd get out, they had jets on stand. They were planning 4th of July barbecues like this man was about to touch the sky. And then boom, denied. Judge Aaron handed Diddy his ass. Now let's zoom in on what happened right after. The lead prosecutor pushing to bury Diddy under the jail, fired. Not with a memo, not with warning, fired hard. You're thinking this is just about Ghislaine Maxwell? Nah, it's not a coincidence. That prosecutor was the backbone of the Diddy task force. And look, y'all laughed at us months ago. You called us conspiracy theorists when we laid this all out. But every single thing we said, every prediction has unfolded exactly in that order. This isn't speculation anymore, it's fact. So was her firing random, or was it strategic? Think about her final words. We cannot let this instill fear in our hearts. We must push forward. At the time, I thought she was rallying the other prosecutors. But now, maybe she was sending a message to the judges. Maybe directly to Judge Aaron. Because when the President of the United States is whispering about pardons for a man like Diddy, you start to feel the pressure. The kind that makes justice bend. I mean, think about the position this puts Judge Aaron in. If he gives Diddy bail, it sends a clear message. Go easy on sentencing. The president is watching. And if he doesn't give bail, well, that just fast-tracks the pardon. Either way, the scales of justice are getting tipped. That's not justice without fear or favor. That's fear and favor controlling every move. And honestly, I don't care what side of the political fence you're on, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. If you believe in even a shred of real justice, this should make your skin crawl. Where did all the righteous outrage go? Remember when the country was screaming about putting predators behind bars? Remember when we said no more getting away with it just because you're rich and famous? Yeah, that momentum disappeared real fast the moment it involved someone people liked. Suddenly folks are turning a blind eye, saying, well, maybe we shouldn't rush to judgment. What happened to accountability? And is this not exactly what Maureen Comey was warning us about? Am I the only one seeing this train coming straight down the track? Let's rewind to the jury situation. That alone was shady. First, they claimed they were deadlocked, couldn't reach a decision. They go home. Next morning,
present,
before they
and no
even drop
longer
their
has a
bags,
voice who
they
will
suddenly
pursue
do a full
justice for her
180.
accusation.
Not guilty, just like
As
that.
of the taken
The
against
charges
Diddy.
didn't make sense.
No
The
expansion of
dismissal
the
didn't make sense.
investigation.
And you're telling
No
me they
isolation
didn't believe
orders.
the violent
No
distribution
equipment
allegations,
access. No
even after
suspension of
watching
attorney
Diddy on
communication.
video drag her back to the scene like a maniac? Seriously? Now in the middle of all that mess, Diddy's back again demanding bail. And we're just supposed to pretend everything is normal? Listen, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Diddy, in my opinion, styled himself as the Black Jeffrey Epstein, throwing exclusive parties, playing matchmaker, not for romance but for power. And he did it better than Epstein, because he knew how to make it fun. He'd have you chilling with your favorite rapper next to the girl you liked, or guy. And don't worry, according to Mark Curry, they'd get a sip from the special champagne. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Diddy has floated through life without accountability. Every time he should have been stopped, he danced through the cracks. And let's not forget the closing argument from Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's attorney. He called it the best closing of his entire career. And I mean, yeah, if you like sleaze, manipulation, and defending the indefensible, then sure, gold star for you. Congrats. You made yourself indispensable to the worst kinds of people. But here's the thing. Even if you don't believe Diddy was the Black Jeffrey Epstein, maybe you think it's not quite the same. You have to see that something dark and dangerous is playing out here. The connections, the timing, the silence. There's a pattern forming, and it's a threat to justice, to truth, to all of us watching this unfold in real time. Remember when I told you that Diddy and his crew were threatening bloggers, trying to silence anyone who spoke up, harassing people, spreading fear, because they needed the streets quiet? They were setting the stage for a pardon, trying to paint him as some misunderstood, remorseful figure, hoping people would forget what he actually did. But now this new layer that if he doesn't get bail, he'll be pardoned sooner. And if he does, he'll just be pardoned after sentencing. This is straight up rigging. It's tipping the scales of justice with the weight of political power. If it's true, then the Department of Justice isn't blind anymore. It's just looking the other way. So what now? What do you think? Drop it in the comments, because this story is far from over. And let me say one last thing. I was the first to report this story 9 months ago. People laughed, called me a liar, said I was crazy. Not all of y'all, but the ones in the back. And now look, I wish I was wrong. I really do. I knew Diddy was angling for a pardon, but even I didn't expect the President of the United States would take it serious. And don't get it twisted. I think the reason this is leaking now is strategic. They're testing public reaction. They want to see how loud the outrage is and wear it down over time, so that when Diddy finally walks out of prison, people just shrug and move on. Oh, it's old news. He donated to a charity. He's changed. Right? Changed. He loves the kids. They'll say, little too much. Maybe. He loves the women. Probably his next dating app's tagline, in-house only. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but it shouldn't be. This story is still developing, and I've got more coming, including what's really going down with Ghislaine Maxwell. And baby, that tea, scalding. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.